How's it going, you guys? Another Q&A. It's the end of the day. We're running out of daylight, and I'm going to try to shoot this quick. Ignore the rooster in the background. So we did 6 videos last week. We did Q&A. Then we headed to our best friend Janie's house. And then we did an antique and plant shopping with Janie. And then it was, I think our neighbors beat us Halloween decorating, planting an edible rose and lime tree, and then planting up some herbs and veggies in terracotta in the back garden. It was a busy week. It was a very long week, but it was a good week. I was happy to see Janie and happy to be able to help her out. And of course it rained when I got down there. So there weren't too many questions, but I did pull a few of them. So let's jump into it. So first video. Okay, the rooster's gonna go off probably the entire time because I'm talking. So ignore that. Anyways, first video was the Q&A. How many sisters do I have? Do we let our chickens out? And first question was from Tracy, and she said, "Hi Robbie, have you ever considered composting with worms? I started doing it this year and haven't harvested any of the castings." Okay, so I actually just started looking into that probably like 2 weeks ago. And it seems like it's pretty easy. So I might give it a try maybe this like spring or summertime, but we do have a whole like rework happening of the entire garden. So we'll see if I even have time to take on another, another project. It would be really cool because we are gonna take down the compost bins, and we have a lot of green waste here. So it would be nice to figure out a way to do something with it. And I've heard that doing the composting or the worm castings, like with worm farming, I don't know what you call it, but I've heard it's really easy. So I'm gonna look into that over this like winter and possibly get started on it, especially because we do have a worm farm, worm factory like super close to us. It's like 45 minutes away, and you can go buy worms in bulk from there. You can also buy like worm castings. So if I wanted to give it a shot, it'd be really easy because I could just go get a bunch of worms like 45 minutes away. And I think that they do like classes and all kinds of things to like teach you how to properly do it. So I'm gonna look into it this winter. Next question was from Vicky, and she had said, "Do you rotate your corn and tomato plants?" Yeah, we do. So last year I did tomato plants in the ground, and then I did them in our short bed the year before that. And the corn has grown in the ground 1 year, and no, it's grown in the ground 2 years, and then we didn't do corn last year. But I do try to like rotate where crops grow. Like obviously garlic, this is the first year I'm growing garlic in this bed. The year before, last year I grew it in the bricked bed, and then the year before that I grew it in our short bed. So I try to move things around just so I'm not like depleting the soil of one specific like nutrients, and then I do try to top up every year with a little bit of like compost or potting soil. Next question was from Kim, and she had said, "Robbie, what is the plant behind you with pink long flowers?" This one, I talk about it in every video that I say right here, except I forgot last week. This right here is the Love Lies Bleeding Amaranth, and it is an amazing plant. You can see it right here actually. Every time you touch it, there's seeds, and the seeds on it are pink, and it's really pretty. It's one of my favorite things. This one was a volunteer, and then that is our espalier, and we did honeysuckle on our espalier. Love Lies Bleeding Amaranth, super easy to grow from seed though. I mean, like I said, these ones were volunteer, and that's, I think, 5 plants. You can see that like now that it's the end of the season, it's been a little sun bleached and it started to fade. I can hear the amount of seeds that are just dropping. I'm gonna get so many that start popping up next year. But I love this stuff. If you harvest it at like this stage right here and you hang it upside down, it'll dry and it'll still have a pink tinge to it, but it won't be like this bright pink color. It'll be like a softer pink color. But really beautiful plant, and I love using it in flower arrangements. It has an amazing base life. Next question was from Sharon, and she said, "I thought that you said your mom lived in Paradise about 45 minutes from you. Then you said your mom lives in Texas. I'm confused. Did I misunderstand?" Okay, so I grew up in Paradise. My family's from Paradise, and my mom currently does live in Texas. She did live in this area. She's lived in Paradise before. And I will, when I do a About Me video, I will explain everything into further detail. But who I call mom, who you guys have met when we went antique shopping, that is not my biological mother, that's just who I call mother. And we will go over all of that at a later date. But who I call mom, she is in Texas right now. They moved out there after the campfire had happened. My mom, my sister, one of my sisters, and I guess technically some grandparents. It's confusing, and we'll go over it all at a later date. Next question was from Deborah, and she had said, Robbie, I couldn't find a link to the paint sprayer that you used. Could you share it again or bring it up in your next Q&A? Okay, so that video, I totally forgot to link the paint sprayer in that video. But I did, after I read your comment, I went back and I re-linked it. So it's in that description, and I will make sure that I link it in this video also. The train is coming. If you can't find it, it's called Home Right Super Finish Max, and it's the blue one, just like I have. It has like 11,000 reviews. At the time when we filming this, it's $119.99, but it's on sale for $79. I will make sure it's linked down below. Best paint sprayer ever. Like I said, we did our entire house. We did our fence with it. We did chicken coop. We did our front door with it. And it's got like little tips that are different that you can like change out for like the finish that you want. It's best $120 you'll ever spend if you need to paint things. Next question is from Rich and Mo, and they had said, have you ever tried to grow roses from seed? I have not tried it. I have some in the freezer. They've probably been in the freezer too long at this point. I put them in the freezer in the fall time, and they need like a cold stratification period from what I understand. And so I tried putting them in the freezer, and then I just never got around to planting them. I'm hearing like mixed information on whether they come back true to variety or if it's a brand new variety. I'm getting like mixed information when I look it up online. I want to try it. I've got like 10 seeds in the freezer. I might just try it. We'll see. We'll see what happens next year. I might even save more seeds. The ones that I did save were from the Claire Austin, because the Claire Austin seeds are like really easy to grow or to like see. So I don't know. I'm going to try it. Next question is from Sherry Berry. Sherry Berry Blueberry. That's so cute. And she had said, how was Lola doing? I kind of missed her obnoxious quacking in the backgrounds. Love your Q&A videos as much as I love all your other videos. Okay, so I would like to say I miss her obnoxious quacking, but I still hear it all the time. She's literally right across the street. She's over at Ashley's house, and she's doing amazing. I think she's gotten fatter, honestly. Ashley and Mason give her so many worms. Ashley buys, it's like a $45 bag of worms. They like feed all their chickens. I think they have like 6 chickens. They wanted 4, and somehow she ended up with like 6. Maybe it's 8. And a duck. Mason absolutely loves Lola. He actually named one of his other chickens Lola because he loved Lola so much. So Lola is doing very well over there. She had 0 interest in seeing us last time we went over there. She wanted to see Mason, so I think she's very happy. Next question was from Judy McCarrow, and she had said, could you buy organically grown garlic to plant, maybe save on shipping? You know, I'm sure that you could. And honestly, you could even buy garlic that's just at the grocery store. There's just a chance that it's been sprayed with a growth inhibitor so it doesn't start sprouting on the shelves. And that's what's going to make it so that it doesn't form up nice big heads. But honestly, if you still have time and you can't find garlic in online and you can see garlic in stores, just go buy a couple dollars worth of garlic heads and go plant them. Why not? I mean, you're not going to do anything with the space all winter anyways, so you might as well just try growing a few little cloves and see if you can get some. I think it's totally worth it to try. Next video was headed to our best friend's house, Janie. First question on that video was from Cindy, and she said, Robbie, what a great friend you are for getting her plants in the ground. Okay, well, we didn't get them in the ground. We tried. A random question. I've always loved the acoustic guitar music at the end of your videos, and you've used it even more in this one. Do you know the name and song, and is it available online? It's called Baby Bye by Vicky Vox, and there's an instrumental version. I've seen it on YouTube. I haven't seen it on like Apple or where else that you can like buy it. I can't even find much about the artist, but Vicky Vox, Baby Bye, and there is a instrumental version and a like lyrics version. Both of those are available on YouTube. Next question on that video was from Gigi, and she'd said, you guys are so funny. I love watching you both. How long have you been friends? It has been less than a year that we have actually like known each other, which is so crazy to me. We met at the beginning of this year in person, so not really a long time, but the first time we hung out, it was here on our property, and Brent was here, and he had left to go check on some of our neighbors' dogs, and he said that he could just hear Janie and I busting up laughing, like halfway down the street. He could just hear us through the whole neighborhood. So we clicked instantly. And I mean, every time that we hang out, even when the camera's not rolling, we're just busting up laughing and cracking jokes with each other. It's exhausting when we hang out. We both, after we're done hanging out for the day, we joke that we literally just like crash. And like I'll usually, when I'm driving home, I come home, I like walk in the door and I just like pass out immediately. And Janie pretty much does the exact same thing after I leave. So we have way too good of a time together. Next question is from user, and they had said, Robbie, could you show us a picture of your backyard wedding? It sounds like it was beautiful. I will actually link a video that we posted pretty quickly after our wedding. I will link that in the description down below on this video. It was pretty magical. We had, it was hot. It was really pretty at nighttime, and it was really pretty at wedding, but we do joke that somebody like sent a curse on our wedding because that there was a million flies that showed up the day of the wedding. And it's funny because the entire month there had never been any flies, and it was also super cool. It was October, and I think it was like 91 degrees that day in October, and our wedding was at 5 o'clock, so it was like the hottest point of the day. It was fun. Next question was from Stacy, and she had said, you two are so funny. I LOL many times while watching this video. What is the zone of heliotrope? I'd love to have some. If you are in a warmer zone, I think it's zones 9 through 11. So it's a warm zone plant. But if you can find it, and you can find it at like a good price, I would just treat it as an annual and just enjoy it. Anyways, 9 through 11. It's a beautiful plant, and the smell is amazing. Highly recommend growing it. If you're in those warmer zones, even if you're in those colder zones, it might be worth it to grow, you know, one or two somewhere like kind of by a door that gets full sun. Really pretty plant, and it smells divine. Next video is antique/plant shopping with Janie. This question on that video was from Greg, and he had said, everyone could use a friend like you. Not all of us are so blessed. I would have never guessed that you were not related. Janie looks like your older sister. Are you always so happy? So I pretty much just try to always keep like light of situations, any situation. And if it's like something a little bit tough, I just kind of like try to move past it. I'm definitely not this like giggly and happy at work. Planting and gardening and making YouTube videos is definitely my happy place. And so I do light up a lot when I talk about it. So am I always this happy? No, but for the most part, especially when filming videos and gardening and anybody who wants to ever talk about plants, 100%. This morning I actually showed up to work and I was half hour early to work. And one of the clients that wasn't my client, he was in another barber's chair, talked to me the entire time that he was getting a haircut about plants, and I just light up the entire time. The next video is, I think our neighbors beat us Halloween decorating. I always have so much fun decorating for Halloween. This year is like the least crazy we went for decorating for Halloween. I didn't buy, the only thing we bought was actually string lights, which I didn't even have up in this video. I made Ashley go pick them up for me when she went shopping for more Halloween decorations. Her yard has gotten even crazier since you guys have seen it last. And she's already sending me pictures of all the Christmas decorations that she has already ordered and bought. Christmas is going to be wild. And I think there were only a few questions on this video also. So, first one was from Chihuahua Mama Gardener, and she had said, your house looks great. Mason was so cute. You have fun neighbors. How many people live in your neighborhood? Okay, so we live in like the middle of nowhere, population 2,000 people. But we basically live in like the suburbs of middle of nowhere. We're on a quarter of an acre lot, and that's pretty much all lots around here, except Ashley's lot. They are on half an acre, and some of the other ones are a little bit bigger, and then there's a few that are like slightly smaller. So everyone here has like a little bit of property, but not much. But it's basically the suburbs of middle of nowhere. Next question is from Keith, and he had said, I have two questions. Why is your grill by the front yard? And what is the handle on the front post by your front door? Okay, so the grill is in the front yard because we are in the backyard all the time, and I think that it is extremely ugly, and I don't want to stare at it in the backyard. So to the front yard it went, where I don't have to stare at it when I'm in the backyard. I couldn't find a spot that I deemed even slightly okay for it to just sit and be ugly looking. So I only have to see it for like 2 minutes when I come in the front door and when I leave to go to work. So that's why it's there. And the handle that's there, I think you're talking about the one that's on the gate, which is actually the gate that's like right here. It's kind of like a hidden gate. So there's the handle so you can close the gate without having to like reach up and like pull the gate shut. So it's like super hidden. That's what those are. Next question is from Janet, and she said, what an amazing Halloween display. Such an impact from the street, and then all the decorations to the front door. Well done. Do you and Brent hand out candy? Do you dress up? So we're passing out full-size candy bars this year. We actually, our first year here, we ran out of candy within like minutes of trick-or-treaters showing up. We didn't realize that it was like so busy. And so we had to run to the store really quickly and go pick up more candy in the middle of Halloween. And then every year since, we've kind of just like grown on how much candy we give out. And so this year I decided, you know what, since Ashley beat us with the decorations, I'm gonna beat her with the candy. And so we're giving out full-size candy bars. I picked up a couple boxes from Costco. And yes, we do dress up. We dress up pretty much every year. Freya, hi. Last year, Brent dressed up as like a voodoo man, and I dressed up as, I think it was a crow, some kind of bird. I don't know, I had a mask and a cape. And this year, we both ended up just getting like pumpkin masks. His lights up and mine's just like a pumpkin mask. They're kind of scary. And I also did today actually have to go and pick up a mask or a costume for work. So we're dressing up and we're doing like a Disney theme at work. So I had to go pick up and I'm doing like a Woody from Toy Story. So we really get into Halloween. Okay, the next video was planting an edible rose and lime tree. First question on that was from Claudia, and she had said, oh, Robbie, I know you've got other plans for next season, but can you imagine a circular garden bed in the center of your lawn with a small fountain or flower bowl in the center and salvage bricks around as edging? Can you imagine? Yeah, I sure could. Next question. Next question on the video was from Allie, and she had said, your yard is looking so beautiful. So your grandmother sounds amazing. Do you think we'll ever get to meet her on your channel? She was actually in one quick little video. It was like a quick little like snippet of her. And it was when we installed HoseLink over at her house. And she is very sassy, and she's watching this video right now, and she's probably gonna kill me if I continue to talk about her. So if you wanna see my grandmother, you'll have to go back and watch the HoseLink video. And I think that's all I can say about my grandmother. Next question on that video was from Bev, and she had said, what if you built a white tutour for your new beautiful apricot colored rose? Even though it's not a climber, it might still look great in front of the black fence. Your yard is looking so green and lush and gorgeous. Brent did a fabulous job on the chicken coop. Okay, so he did great painting that. Anyways, the tutour idea is actually really, really great idea. I hadn't thought about that. Janie is really good at building those. She's built one for her mom, and I think she built one for herself, maybe two for herself. So, I mean, while she's just laying around, I might have her build me one, because I think that would be really nice right there, and it would be like a really like bright pop of like a white color. Maybe I'll do it in the green color. I might do a tutour in that green color that we just painted the raised veggie beds with that rose. That would be really pretty. Hadn't thought about that. Great idea. Next question is from Claudia, and she had said, does the lime need pollination from another lime? Good thing your neighbors have citrus. Yeah, so it's actually not even something that I had thought about, because even if it did need it, my next door neighbors right here, they have a lemon tree, a lime tree, and an orange tree. So they have it all. But lime trees are self-pollinating. So, and I believe, don't quote me on this, but all citrus are self-pollinating. So for the most part, it should be good. Even if they're not, I mean, my neighbors have it, and I have a lime tree and a lemon tree. I should be fine. Next question on that video was from Sally, and she had said, hello Robbie, I watched how you helped Janie and realized I should join your garden YouTube also. So now I have a question. I counted 3 dogs, a finch house, and a hen house. Are there more pets and critters in your garden? Okay, so yes, 3 dogs. We have our oldest dog, Wesley, and then our middle dog is Sadie, and then our blonde dog, that's Freya, she's our puppy, and Freya is 4 years old. And then we have the finch house, which we started out with just a few finch, and now we have a crazy amount of finches. And then we have the chicken coop, which we have 5 chickens, and then we also have 2 little goldfish in the like little tiny back pond that we have. And honestly, once they outgrow that little back pond, they'll go to my grandmother's house. She has a giant stock tank. She has 2 of them actually that have fish. That's all I can say about my grandmother. Next question was from user, and they had said, do you guys have to pay for water or do you have a well? Your yard is looking quite gorgeous. Thank you. So we are on city water, but where we're at, city water is extremely cheap. I mean, like an average bill for us is like 20 bucks for water. And when we had the flower field, that took up like a lot of water, and that was like 60 bucks a month. But like on average, it's like 20-ish bucks a month for water here. It's extremely cheap. One of our neighbors is actually on the like council for the water for Los Molinos, so she gives us all the details. Next question on that video is from Sharon, and she had said, do you ever find snakes in your chicken coop? Never, not once. The only like real threat that we deal with is hawks, and honestly, like we don't really deal with them where we're at here. We don't deal with snakes. We don't deal with like rats. We don't deal with, I mean, we barely deal with hawks. Like we've seen like the occasional one. In the like 5 years we've been here, we've probably seen 5 at most. So we don't really deal with like predators here at all. We're really lucky where we're at. Last question on that video was from Terry, and she had said, good morning, how did your grass grow back so quickly in the flower field? Because it's California and it was like 90 degrees when when we like put the grass seed out. It's okay, while you're gonna hear me complain that it's cold, it's 70 degrees. Okay, the high today was 68 and I'm freezing. So that is how everything is still growing, and that is how the grass grew back so quick. Water was on it every single day. It was actually on it twice a day for like 5 or 10 minutes. And the last video for the week was planting veggies in terracotta pots. And you guys seemed to really enjoy that video, which I was really happy about. It was a rainy day and we went plant shopping for half of a second while I was at work, and then came back and planted some veggies. So it was super easy and it was a good day. First question was from Sandra, and she had said, Robbie, I didn't know chickens ate their own eggs. Can you enlighten me on that? Yeah, so chickens, they'll eat anything, honestly. They'll eat another chicken, they'll eat eggs, they'll eat scrambled eggs. They actually love scrambled eggs. If you think about it, chickens aren't really vegetarian. They go out, they eat bugs when they're like in the garden. And so they'll pretty much eat anything. And honestly, they really enjoy their own eggs, but they won't crack them open. But if they see one gets thrown and has a crack, then they will go for it. But if they're sitting in their nesting box and they lay the eggs, they're not gonna just like sit there and eat them. You might get the occasional one that like does like start eating your eggs, which you kind of want to like stop that because it'll go through and it'll start eating all the eggs. And there's like ways to do that. It's like one of them is like putting mustard on like a fake egg, and then you can see which chicken has mustard on its face and other things. But they love it. The calcium that they get from the eggshell. We sometimes save our eggshells when we collect our eggs and we like eat eggs in the morning. We'll save the eggshells and I will throw them back into the coop, and the girls will go crazy for the eggshells. They absolutely love it because it's a really good source of calcium for them. And then they like the eggs, so they pretty much eat anything. Fruits, veggies, greens. They'll eat meat, which is kind of like, it feels a little bit weird, but they will gladly eat. They eat everything. They're wild animals. They're basically pigs. Next question on that video was from Kristen, and she had said, could you make some earwig traps? I know they're a real bummer in the garden. Yeah, so actually once I'm done with this video, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna try a couple things, and I'll report to you guys probably next week, next Q&A of an update. I was supposed to do it like this last week, but there's not enough hours in the day. But after I do this video, I'm gonna go do it right now. And there's 2 different things that I keep reading. There's actually 3. One is diatomaceous earth, which we do have a whole bag of it, but the only problem is that our irrigation is overhead irrigation, and so you have to reapply DE, diatomaceous earth, every single time it gets wet. Once it gets wet, it's no longer effective. And what DE does is basically it's like little shards of glass, and it gets under invertebrates, so like earwigs, anything that has an exoskeleton, it'll get under that, and basically it's super wicked, but it like shreds them alive, and they die. I believe that it also like is harmful to bees, so I try not to use it, but it does kill aphids, and it does kill like I believe spider mites, and it does kill earwigs. But I'm gonna hold off on that one because one, it gets wet, and two, I'm still seeing bees out. And the other one that I keep seeing is soy sauce, putting that in a like little dish, and then you bury it so it's like at soil level, and then they kind of like fall into it, they get attracted to the soy sauce. And then also the same thing with beer. So I'm gonna try both of those. I'm gonna try the soy sauce because I have soy sauce, and then maybe tomorrow I'll run and go get beer, and I will try that because I want them gone. We have a huge problem pretty much all over the garden. We have them, but they are attacking my veggies, and I'm not okay with that. So I'm gonna try those. Next question on that video was from Teresa, and she had said, Robbie, where did you get your glass covers? Thanks for another great video. Thanks for watching. Those are actually from like all over the place. I find them pretty often at like the Goodwill, and I find them in like the like baking section, and sometimes they have like a wood bottom, and I just kind of like toss the wood bottom, and then I keep the glass cloche. And then I find them on, I find them at IKEA all the time, at thrift stores, and I think I picked up one of them possibly at like Michael's a year or two ago. But I mean, kind of all over the place, but the best place to go is at like the Goodwill. And I think people call them like cheese boards or whatever. And it's like, you just like are supposed to put cheese in it, and then you're like supposed to cover it. It's like doing like charcuterie boards and things like that, just like a protector, but I like to use them for in the garden. Next question on that video was from Jill, and she had said, that fountain was so sweet. Do you have a fountain or a bird bath in your aviary? I love that fountain. It was like perfect little size. But in our aviary, we don't have a bird bath or a bird fountain to say, but we have like a giant bowl that the birds like drink from. It has like a ledge on it, and we have drip ran directly to that, so they get fresh water like every single day. And honestly, they really could like use that as a bird bath. It's like, it's kind of deep, and I mean, they're like this big. And the bird bath or the bowl is like that big, but they're never in it, not even in the summertime. They don't like splash around in it. So I never really thought about adding like a bird bath into there because they don't even use the like water bowl that they have during the like hot summer months. And the last question on that video was from Grace's Home and Garden, and she had said, hi Robbie, do you own a barber shop? I do not own a barber shop, and I have zero desire to own a barber shop. I've been doing this for almost 10 years now, and I would be a terrible boss. Yeah, I don't have a desire to own a barbershop. I don't even have a desire to do barbering forever. I used to think that it was going to be my forever career, but just with finding the love of gardening and making YouTube videos, I plan on this being my entire career. So no, I don't own a barbershop. I have zero desire to own a barbershop. It would be really hard for me to quit barbering. I love my clientele. I have like the best clients, hands down. We're able to like joke and talk, and you know, just every single client that I have a more of a deeper connection than just client barber transaction. So all my clients are like, at this point in my career, they're more like handpicked by me to be able to stay in my chair. So I'm pretty selective of who I even let sit in my chair. So it would be hard for me to give it up, but I do plan on going to less and less days and slowly phasing out, but I don't think I'll ever be able to like fully give it up. That would be really hard. But nope, do not own a barbershop, and I do not want one. So that is gonna be it for this video, you guys. That was another Q&A. Good questions this time. Really enjoyed you guys coming along with me this last week. Loved hanging out with Janie, and I think while she's injured, we're gonna try to get together a little bit more. We've been doing it about once a month, and I think we're gonna try to shoot for a little bit more frequent while she's recovering, because she has a lot of projects that she wants to get done this fall, and I have free time. So that is gonna be it for this video, you guys. Thanks for coming along with me, and I will see you all next week. Bye, guys.